There's a massive weapon set to miss the Chiefs versus Browns game, and Hollywood is officially cleared. We're going to talk about it. Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom. It is Friday. Hope you're having a good Friday morning. Appreciate you guys spending your Friday morning with us. Ignore work. Think about the Chiefs, baby. We have a game this weekend. But appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. Get this out to more people. Mike, what do we got going on today, my man?
We got some big news. Just dropped 12 minutes ago. Albert Breer says the Chiefs are opening wide receiver Hollywood Brown's practice window today, per his sources. Hope has been he would return this week or next, so he's right on time. First step in getting him back into game action. We knew this was going to happen. This kind of dropped last night that they said he was cleared by his doctors. Ian Rappaport actually broke that one last night, so we knew this was coming. So Hollywood Brown is officially cleared. He is going to practice today. Now, he's not going to play this week. There's no way. He's probably not going to play versus the Texans. I would say he's on pace to come back versus the Steelers, and that will be 10 days from Sunday. So that's when I think it's probably going to happen, and that's kind of what everybody's been thinking since the beginning, Steve, that if he was going to come back, it was going to be Christmas Day versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Do you think Andy Reid's going to wrap a little bow around Hollywood and give Chiefs Kingdom a good Christmas present? Like, here you go, buddy.
Would be
Here,
nice.
take this Hollywood Brown. Watch him score a touchdown or two. Why not? That'd be great. It'd be good to see.
I'd love to see the division clinched by then, and maybe he just catches some passes from Carson Wentz. How about that?
Hey, I would take it. That'd be a nice little Christmas gift, too. But, yeah, man, I guess we'll see how he progresses now that he can practice and see when he gets back. I would guess it would be no earlier than the Christmas Day game. It would be nice to get him in for at least 2 regular season games before the playoffs start. Maybe he can get his feet under him, get that rust knocked off a little bit, and maybe start figuring out where he is at in this offense now, because it's a lot different than it was in the offseason when he was working with the team, and it seemed like he was a focal point at camp.
Yeah. They were getting the ball early and often.
Yeah.
Like, first preseason game, he catches the first snap, injured. But, look, it's going to be nice to get Hollywood back. But I dug this up today, and people might like this one. I was on a little bit of a Xavier Worthy tweet-a-thon yesterday. I thought Xavier Worthy's kind of got overshadowed a little bit. People were kind of not talking about him, you know, giving him his proper respect this year. And I honestly believe that Xavier Worthy's had a pretty good season. But I found this one this morning. Last week, in a minimum of 6 opportunities, this is the new separation statistic they've put on PFF. Xavier Worthy was actually 77.78%. So he had 7 snaps out of 9 with opportunities, which means they were basically focused on trying to not let him get open. That's what this new stat. So it's not zone. It's nothing like that. It's where they physically try to stop him, be it man-to-man pressure, whatever it is. They're physically trying to stop him. He got open on 7 out of 9 and finished top 10 out of all NFL wide receivers last week on a minimum of 6 snaps. So, Steve,
we see you, Xavier Worthy. We see you, buddy.
He's getting open. Look, he's getting open.
He's been getting open all year.
He's getting stronger and stronger. I put out yesterday that out of all wide receivers in 2024 rookie class versus man-to-man, he is 4th overall in targets. He's fifth overall in receptions out of the entire rookie class. He's a 53.8 reception percentage, which is only 1 behind Marvin Harrison Jr. He's 6th in receiving yards, 12.6 yards per reception, which is 8th, and he's got a touchdown versus man-to-man only. So that means he is destroying man-to-man, and him and Mahomes do not have a very good connection right now. Out of all 7 rookies to have been targeted at least 50 times, Patrick Mahomes to Xavier Worthy connection is the lowest. His QB rating when targeting Xavier Worthy, 89.9. In retrospect, Ladd McConkey's got a 116.4 when he's getting the ball thrown to him. So Mahomes, Worthy, the connection's not there. It's not super tight, but he's still contributing, and he's turning it on here later in the season. In the last 4 weeks, he's looked really, really good.
Yeah, well, that's no news to anybody. We've seen that the connection's not quite there. They have hit on a few long balls. Xavier Worthy's made some clutch catches, too, on third downs. But there's been a lot of missed opportunities there. Like, there's been a lot of points hanging. Mike, you've talked about how Xavier Worthy could potentially be up for Rookie of the Year if he had been able to connect on a lot of these big plays that he's missed out on, a lot more touchdowns and everything. But seriously, in all seriousness, can we normalize this for Xavier Worthy, baby? Come on, we got to bring it back.
Yeah, we got to get it going. Steve, for the whole year, he's got, I want to say, like 40 receptions, somewhere around 450 yards, something like that. 4 receiving touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Almost said passing. 2 rushing touchdowns, which puts him at 6 total touchdowns. That is tied for second in all of rookie class this year. He's tied for second. Marvin Harrison Jr. has got 7, I believe, and he's tied with Brian Thomas Jr. with 6 total. He's got more rushing yards than, I want to say, 8 or 9 rookie running backs this year. And he's a wide receiver running the ball in the backfield. So he's been very, I want to say Andy's let him be involved in the game plan, but over the last 4 weeks, it's kicked up a notch. He's got 18 catches, 202 yards, and a touchdown in the last 4 weeks. That pretty much matches his whole total from the first 10 weeks. So what we're seeing here is good progression from Xavier Worthy, good progression from the Chiefs coaching staff. They're giving him more responsibility. He's stepping up, and hopefully the Mahomes to Worthy connection gets a little stronger, because with Hollywood coming back, the opportunities will be more plenty for Xavier Worthy. This is the time of the year for giving. Let's give Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown a quarterback that can put it on the numbers, eh? Pat, we're talking to you.
We're talking to you. Well, of course, what everyone's going to go to there, Mike, is, well,
he's got to have protection.
You can't throw it if you're getting killed every 2 seconds, and I understand that sentiment, but we've talked about this several times already. As far as pocket time in the pocket, Patrick Mahomes has more time in the pocket than Josh Allen, than Joe Burrow, than a lot of other guys. That also struggle with poor offensive line play. They're not missing all of their long balls.
It's kind of weird.
They're not missing all the throws.
It doesn't seem as though Patrick Mahomes is getting a lot of time in the pocket, but even last week was the fastest week he had, and it was 2.6 seconds.
Right.
That's pretty fast. 2.6. Lamar Jackson leads the league. In a true pass set, Lamar Jackson gets 2.9. So what's 0.3 seconds, Steve? That?
Right. Well, can I say I don't want to put that on Mahomes either, because just saying that he has, a 0.2 seconds more in the pocket than some of these other guys that are not struggling with throws, I don't think it's necessarily just the quarterback themselves. I think it's the way they're scheming around poor offensive line play. I think it's a lot of different things. Those other teams, they'll run the ball more. They keep that defense honest. The Chiefs don't tend to do that.
Right.
You have the pass rushers just with their ears pinned back the entire game. And then on top of that, Mike, we don't do enough quick throws. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people's talking about, well, what good is Hollywood Brown if he can't play left tackle? Well, I'll tell you what he can do. He can run a 4.2 40. So can Xavier Worthy. DeAndre Hopkins can get yards after the catch. Travis Kelce can get yards after the catch. Even Juju Smith-Schuster can do that.
Yeah.
Like, we have got to put the ball into the hands of our playmakers after we establish a run, and it shouldn't matter if Wanye's getting his ass beat. If we get the ball out quick and let our playmakers do what they're paid to do.
Yeah, you've got to get it out quicker. Andy's admitted to this. He's got self-reflection. He does this every week, though, but it doesn't change going forward. What good is self-reflection? If I got to change, I'm doing something wrong, but you keep doing it, that just means you're insane. Like, Andy's just a madman out here trying not to run the ball.
He's like a genius at the same time. He's like one of those crazy
He's like
geniuses.
a mad genius that outsmarts themselves. But look, he's got to start running the ball more. You got to start leading. Like, you brought in Kareem Hunt, and one thing that they didn't do early with Kareem Hunt, and they started doing it towards the time Pacheco come back, they started getting him some screens and stuff out of the backfield. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So can Pacheco. We got to start using that a little bit. We need to start using more motion with such players like Xavier Worthy and different things like that. We got to get some of this going to where we can get the ball out quick and different things like that, because that's where it's at, man. That's how you protect that left tackle.
Absolutely. Old man's in the house. What's up, Pops? With the 10 bomb.
Tim Bomb.
He says, can we pay off Myles Garrett not to hurt our quarterback? Mike, I think this is the biggest talking point of the matchup this weekend.
Yeah, this is
the
all
fact
anybody wants to talk
that
about.
DJ Humphries may not be playing. We're looking at maybe Wanye trying to block Myles Garrett, which is a catastrophe. Everybody knows that's bad. What do you do? What do you do in this situation, Mike? Do you pay off Myles Garrett? Or is it what we talked about already?
We can't afford to pay him off. We already pay off all the rest. So you can't afford to do that.
That's
So
true. But
we're
honestly,
too broke.
honestly, what do you do? I think you go at him. I think you run at
You
him.
do exactly what we've been saying.
I
You
think
have to run the ball. You have to
quick
slow
passes,
him down.
screen passes. I think a lot of stuff like that. I think you have to let him get the pressure. He's going to get the pressure regardless whether you want him to or not. So I think you let him get to you and you take advantage of that opening. I think that's the only thing the Chiefs can do to slow him down, to be quite honest about it.
Yeah, you can't get into a funk to where you want to pass the ball 15, 20 times in a row. You can't do it. If he's just going to pin his ears back and go, you're going to have to keep him honest. So if he wants to come at you all the time, you're going to have to let him use that to a disadvantage for him. Let him run right by the play, and you run right at him. Let him, a delayed halfback run right there. Throw a screen pass over the top of him. He's going to be disruptive. That's just what Myles Garrett is. He's the best defender in football, arguably. So that is going to happen, and he's probably going against Wanye. Now, look, here's the thing. Here's the injury report from yesterday. DJ Humphries did not practice Wednesday and Thursday. He would have to practice today, more than likely to be able to start, I would think. But at the same time, you never know. And here's the thing with DJ Humphries. He's still getting up to speed. He didn't even look that great last week. Like,
No,
I
but
give him a little
that was
bit of a
expected,
pass.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to say that he struggled last week. We don't have to do 75 asterisks and a caveat over here. Like, can we just say the truth sometimes? He struggled, and we know why he struggled. I don't have to say that every time. He just struggled. So will he get it better? Maybe, maybe not. He's not practiced for a full week. How do you get better if you're not practicing with the offense throughout the entire week? So would you expect him to be better this week versus Myles Garrett? Probably not. So it's just going to be a struggle bus day no matter what you do at that left tackle situation. So
Agreed.
maybe
But I'll say
maybe
this.
put some help over there. I don't know.
You're going to have to do that,
Wild
right?
thought.
You're going to have to do that. But I will say this. I think that DJ Humphries, even if he's rusty, even if he's trying to get back into full playing shape and get in the groove there and learn the offense, do this, that, all the other things that people are talking about, I think he still has an advantage over Wanye Morris just off of experience alone.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, if you've been he's been a good left tackle in this league for many, many years now, and you're looking at Wanye, who basically he's in the second year here. He's not started, but maybe, I don't know, 8 games. I'm not for sure. It's probably a little give or take. But I think just knowing how to deal with elite pass rushers puts him ahead of Wanye Morris. Because I think sometimes, and you saw that with Kingsley earlier in the year too, and you've seen it with Morris all throughout the season, sometimes it's not just your physicality or your athleticism or this or that. It's about up here. And you could even see that in certain weeks where you would watch a pass rusher move from Juwan Taylor's side over to Wanye's side and be a lot more effective on Wanye's side. It's because Juwan Taylor was taking the right angles. He was doing the right things. Wanye and Kingsley, they're not up to speed on that stuff yet. They just don't have that feel. They don't have that knack for it like DJ Humphries probably does. So I would still feel better with DJ Humphries in the game as opposed to Wanye.
Right. Look, Juwan Taylor, speaking of Juwan Taylor, he gets such a good first step that people complain about it, but he takes that big drop step right off the rip. That leaves him susceptible to being stunted a lot. And that's why you see him and Trey Smith just really have some bad communication, and it's just the angle he takes off the rip right off the snap that causes that to happen. Those two might be worse at stunts than the left side, and that's with Wanye included. So that's the weird problem on the right side, but I think that's a communication issue, and it's just something that they've got to figure out, and I think they'll get to that. The left side's the big problem, Steve, but I'm with you. DJ Humphries is more of a ready-made left tackle. Will it take him time to get back in the swing of things? Of course it will. But he's got to be able to practice, and without doing that this week, how much helpful is he going to be in the long run? That's all I'm trying to say. Like, he's got to get healthy. We've got to get him healthy. What's the point of bringing him back again and he's out in 15 snaps with another hamstring? Like, we can't keep doing this over and over. Like, you're just going to have to get him healthy, get him up to speed. That was one of the reasons I thought maybe you could have not played him last week. Maybe rushing him back too quick. He wasn't in game shape. He got injured. Who knows? Like, there's so many different things. It's always a what-if game in a way, but it's probably going to be Wanye. Look, it's more than likely going to be Wanye. Let's hope Wanye just wants to play this week. Like, let's hope he don't pull one of those San Francisco linebacker things and decide he don't want to play and head off after the third quarter. But Myles Garrett's such a handful, he might want to quit after the third quarter, to be honest.
You're not joking, man. What other matchups are you looking forward to this game coming up, Mike? Obviously, that's the big one, and that'll be talked about probably a little bit more before this live stream's wrapped up today. But if we set the left tackle situation aside, what are we looking for with the Chiefs versus the Browns this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. The Browns, I thought the Browns had a pretty good advantage over us this week because of what's been our Achilles heel on defense. The one thing the Browns had going for us besides Myles Garrett was David Njoku and the way that they could use that tight end and the way the Chiefs cannot seemingly stop a tight end.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's exactly where I was going to go with it. So keep
But
on.
check this out. Massive weapon set to miss Chiefs versus Brown game. That's not a Chiefs player. That's David Njoku, guys. He has been listed as a hamstring injury. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. And just yesterday, a Browns beat writer, Mary Kay Cabot, says Browns' David Njoku with his hamstring is likely to sit on Sunday. Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator, says if he can't play, they'll go a tight end by committee. Now, look, I don't care who your tight end by committee is. It's nowhere near as effective as David Njoku. That dude is a handful. And him on Justin Reed is not a good matchup for Justin Reed. Him on Shamari Connor is not a good matchup. So with Njoku sitting out, to me, the Chiefs dodge a little bit of a bullet if they can get that one going, because I believe, they've got a lot of things to worry about. But that tight end has been an Achilles heel since day one with the Chiefs. We all know that the tight ends have just ripped us up this year. And so getting that off the table a little bit and putting the focus elsewhere, I think helps a little bit in that regards, because we do know Jameis back there playing quarterback. They've got some weapons on offense, and he is not shy about slinging the ball around or throwing it deep.
Right, which means we have a good chance of winning the turnover battle this week.
Hopefully, yes.
Because, he's picked 6 Winston,
Could
right?
this be the week that Trent McDuffie gets his first pick in NFL history?
That would be nice to see.
Look, if he can't get it versus Jameis, is Trent ever going to get one?
I feel like the 2 opportunities that he had, he dropped, if you remember. But, you're talking about the tight end thing, Mike. That's been kind of an Achilles heel for the Chiefs this year, not being able to contain tight ends. And it might be part of the game plan where it's like, let the tight end do this. Let's take care of other business. But either way, they've been putting up gaudy stats on the Chiefs all year. So we might have dodged a bullet with David Njoku being out, and they have to go, tight end by committee. But
hopefully
then again,
he's out.
then again, if he does play, whatever, and if he doesn't, we have to make sure we don't make a Pro Bowler out of a no-name, because we're really good at that too. And one other thing that I think that we need to focus on when it comes to the defense is just the pass rush in general. We have got to put a little bit of pressure on Jameis. You already mentioned he's not shy about slinging the ball around. He'll do it. If he starts getting pressure on him, he's still going to make throws. He's still going to be trying to make things happen. That's just what type of player he is. But we can't let him get back there and get comfortable, because they have a guy named Jerry Jeudy that's been showing out this season. He finally got out of that crap hole in Denver and got to a different style of offense. And Jerry Jeudy is what people thought he was. He's been absolutely killing it. So if we don't put some pressure on Jameis Winston, maybe you see guys like Najee Johnson or Josh Williams or whoever struggle with Jeudy, because he's the type of receiver that can give you fits, man. He's very fast. He's a great route runner, and he is on a hot streak.
Yeah, 100%. Jameis Winston. So looking at Jameis and Jerry Jeudy, because that's what we're talking about. Dude, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Jameis Winston is number 10 in all of football and actually he's tied for number 9. So I'll take that back. He's tied for 9th. Jameis Winston in aggressiveness number, which means you don't have to even be open. An aggressiveness percentage means that by the time the receiver gets a ball passed to them, so whether they catch it or they drop it, it's 1 yard or less separation between the nearest defender, right? So they are on your hip. Jameis Winston throws the ball into that coverage 18% of the time. That's 1 out of 5 throws. And he is number 9 in football. The top 2 are the guys from Dallas. I don't know why Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott want to live so dangerously up there. But that's what they do. And that's why Dallas stinks. Let's be honest. So, dude, this dude is aggressive. 1 out of every 5 passes is going to a completely shut down covered corner or covered wide receiver. So he is not afraid to do that. Now, on the other end, guess who's got the lowest aggressiveness number in all of football? Patrick Mahomes. 9.1%. Nobody else is even close. Patrick refuses to throw the ball.
Conservative Pat.
Yeah, he's very conservative, Pat, and he's done this his whole career. Go back, find this. You can go to Next Gen Stats and look through it. Don't take my word for it. Hit passing, hit quarterback, and click the aggressiveness stat and go all the way back to Pat's rookie year. Every year, he is at the bottom 2 to 3 guys. He will not throw it. That's not saying he can't. He just will not do it, which means
is
Andy
not a bad
Reid
thing. He has enough bad
schemes.
luck with interceptions anyway.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. I think it's because Andy Reid schemes such good things that you don't have to force the ball into players like that in certain situations.
That's true, too.
So when Pat has to do it, he's not used to doing it. That's why I believe there's things like Jameis has to do it probably because his offensive coordinator stinks. So he's got to complete something. He's got to just throw it. But with Andy, you'll oftentimes see 2, even 3 guys just wide open. Nobody even close because the scheme's so well. So Pat's not really had to do that. But just saying, he's not very aggressive at throwing to a guy that's covered. Jameis is. So there is a very big turnover potential there.
Right. I agree. And also to the point of, making sure that Judy doesn't get loose and getting some pressure on Jameis Winston. Obviously, a lot of people's going to say, and I've seen it in the chat over and over again, Jerry Jeudy never did anything against the Chiefs. And that's fine, but he was also playing for Denver, who's had nothing but trash hole quarterbacks that don't even try to throw the ball. And on top of that, different scheme. And you can't have it both ways. You can't sit here and complain about the cornerback play all damn season and then tell me that Jerry Jeudy's not a threat when he's been burning teams up the last 5 weeks. So, just to say, well, he didn't do it in Denver, I think that's being a bit naive. I think it's definitely something that Spags is going to be focused on.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's one of those things where they have to look at it because he's going to take his shots. We just said that Jameis Winston will 1 out of every passes, he's going to put it on the money. Did you know he is actually 3rd in – Actually, I'm going to take that back. He is 2nd in all of football in intended air yards, which means he throws the ball. He pushes it. He is 3rd.
He's always been that way, though.
He's 3rd out of all quarterbacks in average yards to the stick, which means when you got to get 10 yards to a first down, he's putting it to the first down marker. Most of these quarterbacks, and that's Patrick Mahomes included, they're like negative yards. Like once the average is done, negative yards. Jameis Winston's literally right at the sticks. Like this dude will average 10, 15, 20 yards a pass. Like he is a slinger. Right. And he lives by it, he dies by it too. Like don't get me wrong, like that's just a few weeks ago he said he prays that he don't throw pick sixes. He has to literally pray for that.
He does.
But dude, if you're a gunslinger, look, you live by it, you die by it,
Yeah, it is what it is. Mike, I think there's one very, very important matchup that could be the key to the game, in my opinion. And we'll talk about that in just a second. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Appreciate you guys. Christmas is right around the corner, and we've brought back the popular Merry Chiefsmas sweater and hoodie in the store. Just go to merch.allchiefedup.com and you can use the code ACUSANTA, that's ACUSANTA, and you can get 20% off of everything in the store until the end of the year. So get your hands on those and give some gifts to your family and friends. Do it to it, baby. It's Christmas time.
Yeah, man. They're doing a big a Christmas what's it called? It's like a Christmas decor show or something up here in Louisville. And like it is completely taking over everything. Like people's going and buying all kinds of Christmas goodies. They've got all of our theme parks turned into Christmas wonderlands up here.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like everybody's getting in the spirit, Steve.
Right. So like I was mentioning before the break, appreciate you guys being here. If you just came in, good to see you. We were talking a little bit about Hollywood Brown being officially cleared to start practice potentially today.
It is
And-
today. They're saying
right.
that they opened it today.
And then also the Browns could be without their tight end, David Njoku, which is a big plus for the Chiefs because they have struggled against tight ends this year. We talked a little bit about that. I'm sure we'll talk more about it. But appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. If you're on Facebook, make sure to share that with your friends. If you're on X, repost that out to your followers, and we appreciate you. But Mike, I think the biggest key to this game is going to be winning the ground battle. I think it's going to be who has the best running game in this game that's going to take it. And the reason I say that is Nick Chubb. I understand he's coming back off of the injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you make them one-dimensional, if you can shut down the run game, Jameis is going to throw interceptions. He's going to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You cannot let him be comfortable at all. Do not let them get a run game established and, of course, get pressure on the quarterback. And if they can't run the ball, it's easier to get pressure on the quarterback because you can pin your ears back and go if they abandon the run, which unfortunately happens to Andy Reid quite a bit. But on the flip side, man, we're talking about Kareem Hunt playing his old team. Mm-hmm. I think maybe this week is a week that you could kind of take a little bit off of Patrick Mahomes and hand it over to Kareem Hunt and be like, hey, buddy, I know you would like to make a statement in this game. Let's do it. Let's run the ball down their throat. So yeah. I think that the run game is huge.
Yeah, the last time they played, I want to say it was back in like 2017, 2018. Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce had a day. I want to say they both scored multiple touchdowns. So they're going back to Cleveland. It's going to mean something to them. Good deal. Nick Chubb versus the Chiefs. I think he's played us twice in the regular season, or maybe it his entire career, but I want to say it was just regular season. In 2018, he had 22 attempts for 85 yards and a tutty. And then in 2021, he had 15 attempts for 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he's put up 168 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games. He's a little different running back right now than he was.
Right.
So
naturally.
But I mean, you still got to respect it. You have to respect it.
What happened to his leg last year, bro?
Yeah, you have to respect it. I think this is going to be a big week for Nick Bolton. If Nick Bolton wants to come out and assert his dominance here, I think you can see Nick Chubb staying under that 75-yard mark. He's going to be somewhere. If Nick Chubb crosses the 100 to 110-yard mark and puts it in the end zone a few times, the Chiefs may be in trouble looking at the end of the game on the scoreboard. Let's be honest, because I don't think there should be a problem here to win this game. But you just can't let records fool you, because we've seen what happened versus the Panthers. And the Chiefs just routinely play down to their opponent. That's all there is to it. They do this over and over.
They do. And like Andy Reid mentioned it at the end of the Carolina Panthers game, like you can't hang your head on these close games and playing maybe not your best football all the time. You are getting the other team's best shot naturally. You are. So it doesn't really matter if you're not matching their intensity. It's going to be a long day, and the Chiefs struggle with matching the intensity of these teams coming in ready to take them out.
Everybody was giving the Patriots their best shot through all their dynasty too, but they were still putting 21-point beatdowns on a lot of people. So right. I mean, you've got to get out there and play. Like it's going to catch up to you at some point. Like we have really been. Like as Chief fans, we can sit here and be completely happy with 12-1, and you're fine, but at the same time, you do know, like, you want to argue it on X and different things, and you think people are talking down to the Chiefs. The Chiefs have really skated by on a few weird plays, so it could have very easily went the other way. So I feel like to get rid of that, you need to start getting better yourself, executing better. Everybody's got to get better across the board, and it's easier said than done. Andy says it every week. Pat says it every week, but at some point it's got to be implemented a little bit here. And I think the fact that we're getting a little bit healthier in different things, this could be the next few weeks. You might see it start to look better. You might get that quick hitting offense back, hopefully right around playoff time, if they can get Hollywood and everything back, ready to go in the offense, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A couple people in the chat, shout out Demetrio and then John Johnson over on Facebook. They're bringing up the fact that this is a Kelce homecoming. Oh, Cleveland Browns fan himself from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. They're playing there in Cleveland. Do you think Travis Kelce goes to the hometown and shows out? You think we see a big performance from Travis Kelce this weekend?
I mean, we've been saying that Travis Kelce's due for a breakout at any time. It's just not happened. Like, he had maybe one game where it felt like there was a little breakout going, and then I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if I honestly don't think that they're just saving him for the playoffs. That doesn't make any sense. You've got so much Travis Kelce film. You don't have to hide anything else from, everybody knows what Travis Kelce can do. He's getting just as many snaps or more snaps this year than he's ever gotten in his career. So they're not like taking it easy on him. He's just not being fully implemented by Mahomes in the game plan. Like either he's not getting open a lot. Pat's not having to go to that like freestyle kind of football that we're used to. I don't know what the deal is, but could this be the week? Maybe. I don't know who. I mean, who do they got back there playing safety right now? Is it still Denzel Ward? Is he playing corner safety? Like, I know they had somebody on the IR, not the IR, but so they've got a few DBs that would have been limited in full practices this week. So Martin Emerson Jr., God, you ought to be able to torch that poor guy. Martin Emerson Jr. is just not great. They drafted Miles Harden. He's got a tibia, but he's been practicing. Not for sure.
Greg Newsome's still there?
Yeah, I'm not for sure. Juan Thornhill's out, I believe. He's been out for a little while.
Who?
Oh, Juan.
Who?
We're 12-1. Hey, how about
Juan
that?
Thornhill, baby.
Dude,
Forgot about that guy.
I think if this is Kelce could want to go show out, I'm not going to hold my breath with it. I'm tired of saying Kelce's about to have a breakout game and he don't. So for Kelce, a breakout game would be 60 yards and maybe getting in the end zone.
He's had some big games though. Like he has, just like two. But KC Lion Squad with the 2 bomb says, did Wanya get drafted as a right tackle? Yes and no. I mean, they just drafted him as a tackle. He was a right tackle in college. He was the right tackle for Oklahoma when Anton Harrison was the left tackle, who we think the Chiefs might have been targeting in that draft and just didn't get him. So
didn't Wanya play in Tennessee at the same time that
Trey Smith
played?
Yeah, so here's the thing, man. I think he got thrown into a position that he shouldn't be playing, and I think they know that too. I think they're just working with what they're working with. We've talked about it. We think that it's a pretty big blunder that they completely ignored the left tackle position. Maybe they just relied too much on a rookie and a guy in his second season, but they've tried to fix that. Better late than never, I suppose. So we'll see how DJ Humphrey gets up to speed. But appreciate the 2 KC Lion Squad and our boy Steve-O in the house showing some love. He says, Merry Christmas. Love y'all. Support ACU. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, Steve-O.
And then I think I hear a bit of a train, maybe?
Oh, no. The trains are coming.
I think I do.
Let's go.
Steve-O said, you know what? I'm in the giving mood. It's Christmas. So he went full Stephen James Claus and gave away 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, brother. Let's go. If you get one of those, make sure to thank him in the chat. Love growing the ACU crew. So appreciate you a lot, Steve-O.
Also, a few episodes ago, we were giving away tumblers for 5 gifteds. So everybody that did that, I think we had 4 or 5. Those all got sent out. You guys should have your tumblers in the mail. The all chiefed up one, it's coming, or you should have gotten it by now. But I've got like 2 or 3 more of those. So if anybody's interested in getting those tumblers, I wish I had it here to show you, but I do not. But if anybody's interested in getting one of those little Christmas red tumblers that I put on the stream the other day, I've still got a few of those. And if you'll just do 5 gifted, I'll ship it out to you and everything. It'll be ready to go. That's how we'll do it. You don't have to go through the store.
So Steve-O getting
like
another
exclusive. Steve-O can have another one if he wants it. I don't know if he wants it, but he's got one coming.
Appreciate you, Steve-O. John Hale, been a member for 4 months now. He says the Chiefs really should ball out against the Browns, praying this isn't a trap game. Mike, if there is such thing as a trap game, this would be one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you already locked up the AFC West. You're getting ready to face the Texans and the Steelers back-to-back in a 5-day window. So this could definitely be a trap game. So I think the Chiefs have to maintain focus and make sure they play with some intensity and don't just sleepwalk through this one for sure. Because the Browns can bite you in the ass. They're not good, but they're not the worst team either.
No, I don't even want to say they're solid, but you did see them a few weeks ago. Did they beat the Steelers? Or
They're struggling with it.
Did they beat the Steelers or did they beat the Ravens? They beat somebody at the top of the division the other day.
Ravens.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But anyway, Travis Kelce, I looked up his stats. He's went back. He's played the Browns, I want to say 3 times in the regular season, 2015, 2018, 2021. He's got 218 total yards and 5 touchdowns. So he doesn't – his biggest game come back in 2018, which, I mean, that was like Kelce, like prime, I guess. Like he was a young stud. He had 7 catches on 9 targets, 99 yards, and 2 tutties. And he also had 2 touchdowns in 2021. So he has scored 1 touchdown or multiple touchdowns in every game. So I think it's safe to say that Kelce gets on the board here with a tutty this week.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think you could say it.
I think so. Chief Skills says, love y'all. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the gas, brother. Says, let's turn it up this week and break free. Go Chiefs. Mike, does it kind of feel like that's, to me, it kind of feels like that's like this team in a nutshell. I feel like they're a juggernaut that's just chained down right now. Can they break out the effing chains this week and get out there and start playing some football? Because doesn't it feel like they're throttled? Like something's just... There's so much more there.
It's like, look, it's like when you want to go like race go-karts and you get in it and they got that
limiter
little thing on it. They've got the limiter on it.
Hello,
and
governor.
no matter how much you're pressing the pedal, like you're just beating the crap out of the pedal and you're just putting along like Grandma Tarkin over here. Okay. I ain't having it. Like we got to get the foot, like it's like the brake is continuously stuck. We've got to unstick the brake. I think we just cut the brake line and let it roll. Just full speed downhill. Let's start pushing the ball.
That might be the best analogy ever. Just we gotta. What
cut
was
the
it?
brake line.
Get the foot off the brake. What are you talking?
Get the foot off the brake. Get the foot out. Hey,
undo the brake.
We'll get the foot up the ass is what we need to be doing. Like get it off the brake and put it up the opponent's ass.
Mike Jesus says that Browns are terrible versus tight end, so maybe Kelce does have a little bit of a game here.
Okay, look, I think Kelce could probably, I mean, going back, looking at the history and different things, and again, I think they're struggling there with the safety, so, yeah, Kelce's primed. I mean, like you said, Steve, he's had 3 games this year. He's had 1 where he's hit 100, only 1 game. I think he's got 1 in the 90s and 1 in the 80 yards receiving, and then we know his touchdowns have been limited. I think he's got 2, so not a huge Travis Kelce-esque season. Let's put it that way, but
no, it was not a good year to draft the Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce combo in fantasy football.
We're getting to the end of the year where people think that this is the time that they've been waiting on it. It's just time to turn it up. Like we've been sleeping now.
This is their time.
August. So
this is what they're known for. So I think it's about time to start seeing this team come into full form.
Maybe this one gets Kelce kind of, rip roaring and he gets, because hasn't it been kind of disheartening to sit there and watch Kelce? It's like every single week you see him, the obligatory shot on the sideline where he's sitting on the bench saying,
yeah. But, if you go watch stuff like The Franchise, you see Kelce still having some energy on the sideline. So it's nice to see that. It's still there. But there are moments where it looks like he's lost in the sauce, baby. He's daydreaming.
He's a little tired. Maybe.
He's thinking about being a Hollywood star in his new movie coming out, Loose Cannons or whatever it's called.
Is that real?
It's like a remake of like a 90s movie. Loose
Cannons?
I think that's what it's called. I can't remember for sure.
Is that a Western?
No, but it's like an action movie.
Should Kelce be in a Western, though? I think I would like that role for him.
I think I do, too.
Like, I'll be your Huckleberry. Like, he could be one of those kind of roles. I think it would be fun.
Mike, we got Perry with the 5 bomb. He says, I've got 5 on the Best Chiefs podcast for that ass, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Perry. Appreciate the gas, my man. Mike, I think I'm hearing another train rolling in here.
Let's go.
I think I'm hearing it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Hey, our girl Brenda's out here doing the Lord's work.
I'm sending Brenda out of
5
Tumblr,
gifted
baby.
memberships.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, Brenda. And appreciate all you guys that have been with us since the get-go. We've been doing this. We'll be coming up on 3 years at the beginning of next year, around March or April, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we're getting ready to hit the 4th year, I want to say, on Spotify. So if you guys just like podcast, you get these. Okay, so right now,
but you don't have to look at our ugly faces.
Yeah, so any of these lives, we're just like putting them up on Spotify. You guys can go back listen in your car. You don't got to watch. We didn't want to get people like in car accidents trying to watch YouTube.
We don't want you getting in trouble at work because you're on your phone.
So yeah, you've got the option to do this on Spotify and different things. So it's there too. Wherever you listen to podcasts, go click that. Give us a nice rating over there. But yeah, Brenda, I appreciate that. I'm going to get you, give me your email. Or actually, go to our email, send me your shipping address, and I'll get you a tumbler out for Christmas. So I appreciate it.
Let's go.
Growing the crew, Steve, which means I want to say next week we've got the members only live coming up.
We do. We got to get it done before Christmas. So.
We're gonna get it done before Christmas. And what should we give away?
I think
put up a poll to the public.
I think I've picked it. I picked it myself.
Oh, you're just gonna pick it yourself? Okay.
In hopes that he could actually start contributing and get over the hump that has so throttled him in the NFL.
Oh God.
We're going to give
Sky
away
Moore signed.
No, we're going to give
joking,
away a
I'm
signed
joking.
Felix Enudike Uzama jersey.
Okay.
Maybe the
Felix
ACU
jersey.
crew can give him a little bit of good juju, and we can get him out there and rolling. Because I
Yeah.
feel like he's one of those players that's like I mentioned earlier. Kelce looks lost in the sauce. Felix really is lost in the sauce. Like there's so much more there, and I think that's what we'll do this month.
Right.
We're gonna give some good juju to a guy that needs it, and at a position that we really need. We need some pass rush.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, in hopes that Felix finally contributes just a little bit. Here in
Well,
the
he
stretches.
definitely contributed to ACU. He said, "Here, boys, here's your jersey."
Yeah. So we got a jersey to give away from Felix. Okay, let's give it away. So that's what we'll do this probably next week. Probably next week. So
Yeah, the members only live.
yeah. So become a member, $4.99. You can do that your own, or you can get one of these free ones. If you get a free membership, a gifted one, go ahead and send the thank yous out. Because people are doing the Lord's work. Steve, this morning, and there's been a few people talking about it. This morning, this happened. The Dolphins parted ways with OBJ here. He's probably going to be on waivers till Monday. Will anybody claim him off waivers? And do you think that the Chiefs even consider this in the slightest?
No, I don't.
I don't. We're not.
There are going to be
him,
people out there, Mike. There's going to be people in Chiefs Kingdom out there. It's like we need to go get OBJ, and it's like, oh, look, I'm sorry, but something I wanted to mention earlier. Like, we just had a wave of guys come back with Isaiah Pacheco, Charles Omenihu, right? Two big pieces. And then now by Christmas Day, we're talking we could have back Hollywood Brown. And then you got Harrison Butker coming back. This team's starting to shape up a little bit, man. It's starting to look more healthy. It's going to be the healthiest it's been all season. The only person that you're really missing is Rashee Rice. And granted, that's a big person to be missing.
Jalen Watson.
He'll be
You
back.
got two.
Look, he's going to come back in the playoffs.
No, come on. Don't be doing it. I don't think they'd have signed Steven Nelson if they
I don't
thought he
either.
could get back.
Mike,
So,
but if you don't have hope, what do you have? Integrity?
delusion.
Is that what that guy told you at the golf course?
If you don't have integrity, what do you got?
Don't be
Chiefs-
cheating.
the
Don't
Chiefs-
take any mulligans.
We may have threw integrity out the window this year.
No, but for real, like we're getting some guys back. The team's looking pretty damn healthy, like more than it has all year. I don't think adding a piece to this team is the answer anymore. I don't even think adding Steven Nelson was an answer. I think that was odd.
I just don't think. Look, OBJ, he's just not good anymore. He would have to learn everything. It's just pointless at this.
I'm with Lego. Let him go to the Raiders.
At
bro.
this juncture, it is pointless to bring in OBJ.
Absolutely.
Like he is not to D Hop's level, and D Hop's not at his top level. Let's put it that way. So, dude, with D Hop, with Xavier Worthy, we already proved he's getting open. Pat's just missing him. It's all coming down to the left tackle position. At the end of the year, Steve, is the left tackle the blunder that the wide receiver position was last year for Brett Veach. But Brett Veach got bailed out because in the Super Bowl, McCole Hardman caught one deep ball and the winning touchdown pass. And he only caught 3 passes from the time. I think it was 3, maybe 4. He only caught like 3 or 4 passes from the time he was brought in at the trade deadline. And people are actually, they'll consider that a successful trade because of the 2 catches in the Super Bowl. So what's going to be... How does Brett Veach get saved by the left tackle? Is DJ Humphries actually going to get back healthy and pan out, and then we're going to be saved by the left tackle?
That'd be great.
That's the hope, right?
That's what we're all hoping for,
That's
right?
got to be the hope.
And I want to circle back to the Jalen Watson thing real quick because I mentioned that maybe come back in the playoffs, just being hopeful or whatever. And we had a whole daggone live stream about this last week.
Yeah, all
because
signs were
he had-
pointing to that it was possible.
right, it's possible. He also put up some cryptic tweets here and there. And so we were like, well, maybe it's possible he could get back. And of course, like Mike, you even said it today. You're like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Don't even get anybody's hopes up. But lo and behold, a week and a half after we talk about it, it's all over. That's some news that I'm seeing everywhere right now. There's other YouTubers putting out videos yesterday, 3 days ago. Shocking injury rumor. Jalen Watson could be back and blah, blah, blah. And then I think I saw somebody in the chat say they heard that he was at practice.
What's the story? Like, where you get? What's the info behind it?
It's the
Anybody
same thing
can
we
write
talked
shocking
about.
Injury.
It's the same thing we talked about a week and a half ago.
So just a week and a half later.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. But I'm just saying.
A week and a half later. Okay, he's a
like
week and a half further along in his
swirling
recovery.
around. It's swirling around, brother.
He's a week and a half closer to recovery. I still just think it's looking at all the dates, he should have been able to get possibly at best case scenario. But when we broke it down with some of the past injuries, like I said, Lockett out of Seattle, and then you had the running back out of Dallas a few years ago. It was taking them 5 to 6 months. So
right,
it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I would love for it to.
Maybe a
I
little
mean,
Chris-
I'm not gonna
maybe
root
a little
against it.
Christmas miracle, Michael.
I don't know if it'd be Christmas little playoff miracle.
Jay with the 10 bomb. I got really nervous and just all kinds of weird anxiety looking at his profile picture. Like that formula or whatever it is.
What
I don't
is
know.
that?
I don't know, but anyway,
He
it made
is
me not be
greater
it made
than-
me not be able to read his comment. It's like
I'm
my
trying to
focus
figure
was
out this math equation. I could
So
be
while
here
you're
for
doing that,
years.
I'll try to focus on the reading part.
Okay.
Over under on how many times we pass on 3rd and 1, pretending we don't have Pacheco or Hunt, and the best interior trio, plus no left tackle. So that's super annoying, and it's always been annoying. What we've seen more this year, by far, Andy Reid running the ball on 3rd and 1,
Yeah.
even 4th and 1. Like, I mean, it's been almost night and day different from last season. They refused to do it last season. This season, we've seen Kareem Hunt get carries. We've seen Isaiah Pacheco get carries. We've seen Carson Steele get carries on 3rd and 4th down. So hopefully they continue to trend that way, because I'm right there with you. It's very frustrating to see them come up with some kind of stupid drawn out play when it's just 3rd and 1. Let's just smash it in there and get it done. So I agree with you. And of course the left tackle thing, Jay, we've been talking about that. Appreciate the 10, my man. Thanks for the support. But Mike, this is a game, and we've talked about this several times this year, but is this a game where the Chiefs can kind of get right, like kind of get their feet under them, get a little bit more chemistry going, start to look more like their selves? Or is it just what we talked about last week also? Are the Chiefs just what we're watching? Is this what this team is? Is it going to be a grinded out game every damn game? Do you think that's how they win the Super Bowl, is by just grinding out games?
Right. I'm tired of the grinding. I'm tired of bumping
It's
and
rough,
grinding.
bro. It's fatigue sitting in.
Dude, we're grinding more than a Atlanta, Georgia nightclub in the middle of the Usher days. Just in the peak
That's not
of
where I
Usher.
thought you were to take that.
That's
but.
where we're grinding. We're grinding hard, baby.
Mike, we got our boy Gamer Player with a 10 bomb. He says
Tired of
healthy
it.
for the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for. Hope these players can knock the rust off quickly. That's the good thing about getting some of these players back, like Hollywood coming around maybe around Christmas. We just got back Pacheco Minihue. Hopefully by the time we get to the playoffs, you also get the bye week if the Chiefs can handle business. Maybe this is the healthiest we've seen this team.
You got to win this
going
game.
into the playoff run. You
Look,
absolutely do. You can't
to
drop a
get-
game right now. You
Yes,
just
to
can't.
get this first round bye, this has got to be the win. Look, we just have to win 3 of our last 4. Okay, the Browns are the easiest team on our schedule by far. Now that don't mean a lot, because we've proven we can beat anybody. So it doesn't matter how good you are. We can beat you. Like, we're better than you.
Right.
It's just if the Chiefs want to play and maybe we want to keep it too close and we get a little bit of the old Irish luck.
Is there any team in the NFL that has a better roster than the Chiefs? There's not. There's really not.
No, I mean, you maybe could make an argument for the Lions, but they're just so depleted on defense. Like, they're just outscoring people to death. And we're
Look,
kind of
I'm
doing
gonna
the
go ahead and
opposite.
make a bold claim right now. If you're expecting to see the Lions in the Super Bowl this year,
You're
give
just
it up.
not buying the Lions going to the Super Bowl.
No, I'm
Who
not.
are you putting in over there then?
Anybody but. And I'll tell you why. I tell you what's going to happen. Here's
way.
my bold claim. Dan Campbell will coach them out of the Super Bowl. He's got way too much Brendan Staley in him.
Yeah, but it's been working for him.
Sometimes it don't. And guess what? If you're going to flip that
But
coin,
who's gonna
sometimes
beat
you're
him?
not going to get it right.
It's got to be. Then who is it? The Eagles?
Mike, they had it by
And Nick Sirianni's a total ass clown.
Mike, they had it dead to rights last season. Up 24-10 at halftime, and they couldn't get it done because he couldn't get his head out of his ass. I'm sorry. I think Dan Campbell is a good coach in some aspects.
So where are you going?
I think they're
That's
a
what I'm
good
saying.
team.
Are you going Eagles? You going Packers? Are you going Commanders? What are you doing?
I would take the Eagles over them right now. I think in a head-to-head game, the Eagles would beat them.
So we think it's going to be Chiefs-Eagles.
I don't know. I'm not saying that particularly. But I'm just saying I do not have faith in the Lions getting there because I do not trust his coaching style. I just don't.
Yeah. Well, okay, look, so you got to find – Andy's got to where he's just conservative. Oh, conservative Andy over here. He'll punt it on 4th and a centimeter from his own 35 with 2 minutes on the clock. Like, Andy's like the opposite of Dan Campbell.
That's true.
You got to find somebody right in the middle.
Now, that's another thing Andy I think's been a little bit more liberal with this season too is going for it on 4th down. We've seen that quite a
You
bit.
think?
A little bit more than usual.
Man, maybe. Yeah.
I think so. I feel like that anyway. I might, statistically, if you go back and actually
Steve,
look, it might not be any different. But
that's true.
I do feel like
Look,
it's been a little bit.
We got 10 minutes to go. It's time to get into our game predictions.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
it's time to get into our game balls and what's going to happen, Steve.
Let's do it.
This is sponsored by Blue Chew. Hornt Call of the Week, Steve. Look,
Horned up.
you know who needs to be sponsoring the show? Actually, you know who needs – Patrick needs a sponsorship from Trojan. He needs some protection out there. We got to get this guy a sponsorship from Trojan. Could you see the Trojan commercial
do
coming on
something.
TV, Steve?
With Mahomes
like-
riding a horse.
He's like, if you want the best protection, don't call Wanya.
Maybe they bring back war paint, like the Chiefs' horse, and Patrick rides them in there in some armor or something. I don't know.
If
I
you like
it,
horses, get you some protection here.
All right. So here's what we're going to do.
let's
We're going to
go.
do our predictions. Mike, I'm going to let you go first. But before you get started, I want everyone in the chat to throw their predictions in the
Get 'em
chat.
in.
We always like seeing what you guys are saying. So make sure to put those over there in the chat. Mike, go ahead.
I'm going to say the Chiefs win this one. Surprise, surprise. I think the Chiefs might get the dub. I still don't think the offense is going to be just complete juggernaut. Like, we're not back there just yet. Like, we're not. Like, we need Hollywood to get back in the game. We need more everything. We just need it all to gel. So maybe somewhere around, like, playoffs, we can start putting 30s back on the board. But they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to put 30, and I'm tired of doing it. They're not doing it. So I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to score, let's go 26. I'll say 26-21. No, 26-20. Let's go 26-20 Chiefs over the Browns. And I'm going to give the player of the game to, I'm going to say Kelce. Let's get Kelce a tutty in his hometown. I think Kelce puts up at least 75 and a touchdown. That's what I'll say.
I like it. Mike, I'm right there with you. I just don't see him putting up a crap ton of points. I don't see it. I would love to see it, but I don't see it. I do think Mahomes has a pretty good day, though. He tends to play better on the road. We all know that. And I think that there's some opportunities there. And, getting more on the same page with these receivers, Mike, week after week, I think we're starting to see a little bit of progression. So I expect to see a little bit more this week. So maybe a big game from D-Hop. Not for sure. But what I'm rolling with here is going to be 28-17 Chiefs. I think they win, maybe not comfortably, but like it's not that last second bull crap that we've been doing. And I think I'm going to give the game ball to Kareem Hunt. I think he's going to rush for 80-plus yards and have a touchdown or two himself. So that's where I'm going with it. It'll be a nice little return to Cleveland for him.
You know what sucks? They're calling for showers all day in Cleveland on Sunday.
run the
so
ball,
this could
baby.
be a nasty game.
We got it. Give it to Kareem Hunt. Let him eat.
Do you want an offense though? Like, does that help or hurt? Like, if you got an offense that we're trying to break out and you're wanting to trying to get some chemistry with Mahomes back with Worthy and different things, you really want to a slippery ball and rain showers and all this crap. Like, really? Is that what we want? Do we need that right now? Or do you think
No,
that
we
just feeds
don't.
into what Andy needs to run
But
the ball?
I'm okay with it because when you get playoff time, you never know what the weather's going to be.
That may slow down Myles Garrett a little bit if it's a little
It
slippery.
could. It could. It could also help the receivers get open too, because it's really hard to react when it's slippery. So corners
Yeah.
could be having a rough
Look,
day.
I hope it's not like super like slippery. Come
We'll
on,
see
now.
how it goes. We'll see how.
Is
it
there
goes.
anything worse than watching a football game when it rains? Like, give me a foot of snow over rain.
Yeah, I'll take the snow all day. I'm a snow game guy. I'm like Mahomes.
Yeah, I like snow games.
Yeah, they're fun.
If you don't watch, look, it could be
And
like,
if we don't get some snow for Christmas this year, I'm
dude,
gonna
it could be
pissed off.
Montana State A&M versus North Dakota Blue Ridge, whatever that is. It could be that game, a Division 7 on the ESPN Ocho. And if it's snowing, I'm watching it. I'm watching the game.
We'll watch the snow game.
I'm watching the snow game. But a rain game, I'm clicking off of it.
Hear ye, hear ye. Bryant Williamson in the house with 27-23 Chiefs, baby. I could see it. It's going to be
That's
somewhere in that
probably in the
ballpark.
ballpark.
It's going to be in that ballpark. I'm telling you. Hopefully, our defense can do a little bit better than that.
The over-under on this game, Steve, is
What?
43.
Well, they actually said the Chiefs were favored more this week than a lot of other teams are.
It was by 4. Yeah, I don't know what it's moved to, but they opened up by 4. 23. So they're guessing 23-19 over under
Well,
at 43.
I'll say this: the only time this defense has let up 30 points all year was to Buffalo, and of course that came at the hands of a complete blunder on defense in the last few minute touchdown from Josh
Yeah.
Allen. So I don't expect them to score a whole lot. I think our defense will have a decent day. Also think that Jameis Winston is a turnover machine. I think he's going to give
Can
you
we give a
opportunities.
defensive game ball? Who are you giving who did you give your MVP to?
Kareem Hunt.
Oh yeah, Kareem. You said he's going to score. Who should we give some defensive? Let's get some defensive MVPs. You think McDuffie's going to get his first pick this week?
Would love to see it. Would love to see it.
Look,
This
Josh
is a
Williams
tough
has
one.
practiced all week. He's back at full, so he should get to go this week. Steven Nelson's not going to play. Okay.
Nah.
So Josh Williams and McDuffie should be your starters. Dave Merritt spoke about Najee Johnson yesterday, and he said that he's just a young kid. He's grinding through it. He's working. So I don't think that they're ready to just sit Najee and never play him. So it's going to be the same old same out there. Did one of these guys make a play? Look, Josh Williams is a ball hawk. He really is. He'll play the football. Could this be the week that maybe he picks Jameis and everybody gets off his back a little bit?
I could see it. I could
see it. I would almost say that Josh Williams would get a pick over McDuffie because they just don't throw to McDuffie a lot. Nobody wants to. You don't want to go at the Warden, and so he's going to have very limited opportunities.
Like I was saying, man, Jameis is going to give you opportunities to take the ball away. He's going to. So just
maybe
if
a
you cash
Justin
in,
Reed pick this week.
execute cash in. Yeah, I was thinking a safety might be able to get one over and overthrown ball.
Yeah, now that
something
I'm
like
thinking
that.
a safety might be the play.
I think Brian
Chamari's
Cook.
usually 1v1.
I think Brian Cook could get one and get people off his back a little bit.
They
Or
did say
he's-
Christian Roland Wallace. They want to get him some more reps, for what that's worth. I think Christian Roland Wallace 1v1 versus a slot receiver. I would rather take that matchup all day than keep getting Chamari Connor burned.
Yeah.
Let's just see what he's got.
Man, Chamari Connor is a good football player, but he's not good at what they've been having him do lately. It's just not working out. I think there's lots of other things he can help this team do.
Yeah,
but
he's a
that's
good
not
football
it.
player. He does have shades of L'Jarius Sneed to him.
He does. And I
Because
think,
look, what does
he
Sneed do?
He can continue
leads
to
our team
improve.
in missed tackles, and that's what Sneed did every year he was here.
It's the style they play.
Yeah, it's
It
very
is.
aggressive. But see, I feel like do you feel like the game's kind of moving away from that style though? Like they just do not let DBs put hands on receivers much.
They
You got to be
do.
very, very good at it. Let's
You
put
have
it
to,
that
you
way.
have to do it right off the bat, right at the line. That's when the physicality
the way
can take
Sneed
place.
handled Tyreek Hill last year is the way
Absolutely.
you got to do it.
And that's what Sneed was doing to a lot of guys last year. And it proved to be a good
Do you
thing.
miss L'Jarius Sneed?
I do, just because I liked Sneed, but I don't think it would be much different with
Well,
him
what's
here.
funny is people they complain about the CB2 or whatever, but like we're 12-1. So even if
Right.
you've got Snead on the team, like what are we? Like, are we just undefeated? We just got that one game back.
12 and a half and half.
Yeah, like
We get a tie in there.
so as bad as we
12,
are,
12-0 and 1, maybe.
maybe you get the tie. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe. Rick Martinez says, my wife loves her Merry Chiefsmas crew neck. Let's go, Rick. Rick went and got one of these bad boys. You guys need to, too, over at merch.allchiefedup.com. You better go get them while you can. Christmas is right around the corner. You're going to have to put a rush on that shipping. But you need it. You need it for the events. You need it for all your holiday parties. And you need to make your friends jealous because they're pretty sweet. Appreciate you, Rick. Mike, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. And pretty excited about the game on Sunday, which will be taking place. It's a noon game. A freaking noon game. What about that?
Like, is that like
We get
the second
3
one of the season?
noon games in a row.
No way.
Unheard of.
You mean to tell me
3 in a row.
3 in a row? Wait,
Yeah.
Christmas is a noon game?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
the ever-living crap's happening?
I don't know. This is odd. We're not used to this.
I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know if the Chiefs will be ready to be playing football that early.
I'll tell you what, they don't normally look that great in noon games. They look like they're hungover or sleepy or something.
Yeah, they're not used to it.
You think so? I always think that. But
It's
appreciate
what it
you
is,
guys being here.
What was that?
That was Tony Stark.
Oh, no, the stupid Tony Starks. Well, on that note, we appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 50K. And, yeah, man, we'll catch you guys after the game. We'll
Let's
do
go,
a
baby.
little post game.
Go
See you
Chiefs.
guys. Go Chiefs.
Heaven was a sight from my soul.